BTS is coming back. Taehyung leads the Arirang ship into a legendary return swim teaser shocks the world. Hello ARMY, welcome back to BTS fans channel. Now, don't scroll. Not yet. Because what you're about to experience is not just a story. It feels more like a moment suspended between reality and something far more powerful. Imagine a silent night. Not just quiet, but deeply, almost unnaturally still. A night where even time itself seems to hesitate, as if the world is holding its breath, waiting for something to begin. Far away, in the heart of Lisbon, stands an old maritime museum. A place filled with history, with echoes of journeys long forgotten. Dim yellow lights flicker softly across the room, casting long shadows against the wooden walls. At the center, a massive ancient ship rests in silence. Its wood is worn. Its surface carries scars of time. And yet, it stands there with quiet dignity, as if guarding something sacred. The air feels cold. Still. Almost holy. And somehow, you can feel it. This is not just a place. This is the beginning of something. Not just about music. But about longing, promises, and a return that took far too long. Then, in the middle of that silence, footsteps. Slow. Measured. Echoing. One step. Then another. Until a figure emerges from the darkness. A mysterious woman, cloaked in shadow. Her face barely visible, but her presence undeniable. She doesn't look around. She doesn't hesitate. She walks straight toward the ship, as if something is calling her. Not a sound. Not a voice. But something deeper. Something she cannot ignore. Her hand slowly lifts, hovering just inches away from the aged wood. And then, her eyes find it. A name. Carved into the body of the ship. Arirang. That name. It's not just a word. It feels like a memory. A call. A longing that has traveled across time, waiting to be heard again. Something lost. But never truly gone. And then, in a single blink, everything changes. The silence shatters. The museum disappears. And suddenly, the ocean roars to life. Waves crash violently. Wind howls across an endless horizon. The ship, once lifeless, now moves. Alive. Breathing. Sailing once again. And standing on its deck are 7 figures. Not shadows. Not illusions. Real. They've returned. At the center, Taehyung. BTS's Taehyung. He doesn't say anything at first. He simply stands there, as the wind moves through his hair. His expression. Calm. But his eyes. They hold something deeper. Something unspoken. Something that feels like a story only a few could ever truly understand. A quiet intensity. A presence that pulls you in, without trying. He doesn't demand attention. Yet somehow, you can't look away. Around him, the others take their places. Jin appears first, his voice soft, yet powerful enough to cut through the chaos of the ocean. It doesn't feel like singing. It feels like a whisper, sent directly into your soul. Every word carries weight. Like a promise once made. And never forgotten. Then, the music rises. Not suddenly. But slowly. Like waves building beneath the surface. Electronic sounds begin to pulse, blending seamlessly with traditional Korean instruments. It feels vast. Endless. Like being pulled into an ocean you don't want to escape from. You don't just hear it. You feel it. In your chest. In your heartbeat. In every breath you take. The camera moves. Fast. Sharp. Capturing moments like fragments of something unforgettable. RM stands at the edge, staring into the horizon. His gaze is steady, but filled with reflection. Like someone who has seen the distance, and survived it. J-Hope grips the wheel, confidence radiating from him. As if to say, this time, they are in control. Suga leans quietly against the mast. Still. Calm. But powerful, like deep waves hidden beneath the surface. Jimin moves through the shadows, his dance soft yet emotional. Every step feels like a sentence, spoken without words. Jungkook bursts forward with unstoppable energy, climbing the ropes effortlessly. Pure passion. Unbreakable spirit. And Taehyung. He finally moves. Slowly. Deliberately. A faint smile appears on his lips. Mysterious. Almost unreadable. But somehow. It says everything. Then once again. Jin's voice returns. I swear to. And it stops. The sentence remains unfinished. But that's exactly why it feels so powerful. Because you don't need the ending. You can already feel it. A promise. That never disappeared. A vow. That lived quietly through time. Waiting. This is not just a teaser. Not just a visual. Not just music. This is a call. A call to come back. A call to remember. A call that travels across oceans, across years, straight into the hearts of millions who never stopped waiting. After everything. The time apart. The responsibilities. The silence. They are finally here. Not as individuals. But as one. Complete. 7, on the same ship again. Sailing toward the same destination. Arirang. A symbol of longing. Of distance. Of the hope that no matter how far you go, you can always find your way back home. And now. That symbol lives again. Stronger than ever. March 20th, 2026. 1 p.m. Korea Standard Time. A moment that no longer feels like just a release date, but a line between the past and everything that comes next. The title track. Swim. A simple word, but not a simple meaning. To swim is to survive, to keep moving, even when the current tries to pull you under. And that's exactly what they did. The world reacts instantly. The second teaser explodes. 1 million views. In less than 27 minutes. Not just numbers. A message. The world is still watching. Still waiting. Still loving them, even more than before. Across every platform. The same words begin to appear. Again. And again. Like a heartbeat shared by millions. BTS is coming. Swim is coming. BTS is coming. The voices grow louder. Stronger. Like waves that refuse to stop rising. Some say it already. Song of the Year. Not as hype, but as belief. Because history has shown one thing. When BTS returns, they don't come halfway. And maybe the most beautiful part comes from the fans themselves. Arirang is the ship, and we are the passengers. Let's sail together. Not just artists and fans anymore, but something deeper. A journey. Shared. Now. The day is close. Friday is waiting. The ship is ready. The sails will rise. The ocean will move again. Not because of a storm, but because of them. Because of the energy that only they can bring. Every second feels longer. Every moment stretches endlessly. But that's what makes it beautiful. Because when it finally happens, it will all be worth it. This is not just a comeback. This is a resurrection. A return. A story that refused to end. Finally continuing. And now, only one question remains. When the first wave crashes, when the ship truly begins to move, when Taehyung and BTS fill the world with their voices once again,